Annyeongbuzz, welcome back to the channel where we talk all things K-pop, drama, and the buzzing stories shaking up the Hallyu world. And today, we've got some exciting international news that proves just how far K-pop has gone. Because several of our favorite idols have been nominated for the 2025 Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards. Yep, you heard that right. Stray Kids, Twice, Rosé, Jennie, and Lisa are officially nominees at one of the most globally recognized award shows that's been part of many of our childhoods. I mean, come on, who else remembers watching Slime? Get dumped on celebrities back in the day? And now K-pop idols are part of that universe too? That's wild, and honestly, it's super cool to see. Let's break this down a little. First off, Stray Kids and Twice have been nominated for Favorite Music Group. That means they're going head-to-head with Western powerhouses like Coldplay, Imagine Dragons, Jonas Brothers, Linkin Park, and Blink-182. It's such a mixed lineup, rock, pop, and K-pop all in one category. And what that tells me is, K-pop is not just a genre from Korea anymore. It's music, period, competing on the same global stage, and rightfully so. But wait, there's more Stray Kids. They also bagged a separate nomination for Favorite Global Music Star, representing Asia. And I have to say, this feels like a huge acknowledgement of how much they've grown. Just a few years ago, they were still being called a rookie group. Now, they're representing a whole continent. That's some serious progress. Now let's talk BLACKPINK, or more specifically, the individual queens doing their thing. Rosé scored 2 nominations. One for Favorite Music Collaboration with her hit song APT, alongside Bruno Mars. Okay, can we pause for a second and talk about how insane that collab was? The way their voices blended, the production, the vibe. It wasn't just a song, it was an experience. Rosé's second nomination is for Favorite Female Breakout Artist, and guess who she's nominated alongside? Her own bandmates Jennie and Lisa. Yes, all 3 of them in one category. That's how you know BLACKPINK isn't just surviving the post-group solo phase, they're thriving in it. It's not every day you see 3 members from the same girl group competing individually in one category. And I love how this kind of friendly competition actually shows their strength as a group. It's like saying, yeah, we shine on our own, but we're still BLACKPINK. That's power. Now, the other nominees in that category include artists like Addison Rae, Sabrina Carpenter, Doechii, Glorilla, and Chappelle Roan, which honestly makes for a really interesting mix. Pop, hip-hop, internet-born fame, and then K-pop idols breaking into the Western music industry. It kind of says a lot about where music is headed, doesn't it? But let me throw this question to you guys. If you had to vote for Favorite Female Breakout Artist, between Rosé, Jennie, and Lisa, who are you picking? Or is that way too painful of a choice? Because personally, I don't even know how to choose. Jennie's solo era was sleek and confident. Lisa came in with pure charisma and energy, and Rosé gave us emotional vocals and depth. It's 3 very different styles that all work. I really hope we see one of them win, because K-pop deserves to be acknowledged on these stages. And let's not forget Twice. I feel like they're still underrated in a lot of global conversations. They've been around for years, consistently releasing hits, growing musically, and maintaining a massive fan base. Yet sometimes they get overshadowed by newer groups or buzzier trends. So seeing them in a category like this, it feels validating. Onces, this is your time to rally and show how strong your support really is. Also, quick thought, isn't it kind of surreal to see Linkin Park and Twice in the same category? Like, what a time to be alive. K-pop is being recognized not just as a trend, but as a lasting genre with influence. And not just in Asia, it's happening on Western networks, Western award shows, and in front of global audiences. Let's talk about impact for a second. When these artists get nominated for global awards like the Kids Choice Awards, it's not just a pat on the back. It's visibility. It's introducing K-pop to new younger fans around the world. Imagine some kid watching Nickelodeon who's never heard of Stray Kids or Rosé. And now suddenly they're searching up their music, diving into music videos, becoming a new fan. That's how the next wave starts. I want to hear what you think. Are Western award shows doing enough to include K-pop fairly? Or is this just a small step in a long road to equal representation? And do you think fan voting on sites like Nickelodeon's actually reflects real popularity? Or is it more about who has the most active fandom? Now, speaking of fandoms, let's be real for a second. K-pop fans are built different. The dedication, the organization, the way they mobilize for votes, streams, views, it's next level. And I actually think that's one of the reasons K-pop idols are making such a splash in these global award shows. I mean, look at how fast Stray Kids stays jump into action when there's voting involved. They don't just vote. They strategize. They set reminders. They motivate each other across platforms. And I've seen Onces and Blinks do the exact same. It's not just support, it's teamwork. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if at least one K-pop act takes home a trophy this year, just based on the sheer power of their fans. But I want to touch on something a little deeper too. When K-pop artists win these Western awards, it also chips away at that invisible wall that still exists between Eastern and Western music industries. Let's not sugarcoat it. There's still a bit of gatekeeping, especially in the US market. K-pop acts have to prove themselves 10 times more to get the same kind of recognition. So nominations like these matter. They're not just about trophies. They're about breaking barriers and building bridges. Now, I want to go back to something Rosé said during a past interview, that doing solo work helped her express herself in a new way, more personally. And seeing how fans responded to APT with Bruno Mars, it really shows how much international audiences want to connect with her. That nomination for favorite music collaboration isn't just random. It's proof that she's reaching people far beyond the K-pop bubble. Same with Lisa. Ever since Lalisa and her work on Money, she's had such a huge following outside Korea. Her style, her dancing, her charisma, it's super global. And Jennie, between her solo music and her acting debut in The Idol, she's literally crossing into multiple industries. That's the kind of reach we're talking about here. So in a way, the 2025 Kids Choice Awards isn't just another show. It's a mirror of how K-pop is evolving and how it's being seen by the world. I also want to point out how important these nominations are for the next generation of K-pop fans. Because think about it, a 10-year-old kid who sees Twice or Stray Kids nominated on a show they already love. That could be their first intro to the genre. And once they dive in, there's no going back. We've all been there, right? That one MV that made us fall into the K-pop rabbit hole. So when people say, it's just the Kids' Choice Awards, I'm like, nah, it's bigger than that. It's cultural crossover. It's global visibility. And it's planting seeds for K-pop's future. Now, I've got a fun question for you guys. If you could nominate one more K-pop act for next year's Kids' Choice Awards, who would it be? Could be a rookie group, a soloist, even a lesser-known act. Let's manifest some 2026 nominations in the comments, okay? And if we're talking predictions, do you think Stray Kids will take favorite music group? Will Rosé win breakout female artist, or will Jennie or Lisa sneak in with the surprise win? Personally, I think Rosé might have the edge just because of her collab with Bruno Mars. That gave her a lot of extra exposure in the West. But Jennie has huge solo star energy too. And Lisa? She's a fan favorite on every continent. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if any of them won. It's just amazing to see them being acknowledged at this level. The real win here is the recognition, and how far K-pop has come. So to wrap this up, shout out to Nickelodeon for including K-pop acts, and shout out to the fans who make sure these artists stay in the spotlight. Whether they win or not, the fact that they're in the conversation at major global award shows is already a huge step forward. Don't forget to go vote if you haven't already. It's open on the Nickelodeon website. Let's make sure our faves get the support they deserve. And of course, let's keep the convo going in the comments. Who are you voting for? What do you think this means for the future of K-pop and the global scene? Do you think we'll ever see a full K-pop performance on the Kids' Choice stage? That's it for today's Buzz, everyone. As always, thank you for hanging out with me and diving into all things K-pop. You guys make this community so much fun, and I love reading your thoughts. So don't be shy, drop those comments, and let's chat. Until next time, this has been Young Buzz, signing off.